Hello, welcome back to the Archway podcast with your host, Arch Murray, your friendly, lovely podcast host. And today we're going to be talking about how I basically do these podcasts. I thought it'd be quite an interesting episode, so let's get into it. Okay, so the microphone that I'm using, if I just turn it around quickly, it's a Zeal Sonic. Now, one of my friends actually told me about this microphone. They said it was actually a good idea to use it. So I was like, okay, cool, let's use it. It's actually really good sound quality. I can go really close like this, or I can speak really far away and you can still hear me, which is brilliant. It comes with an adapter which adapts to like an iPad charger or a micro USB and a USB. I have no idea what they mean. I'm not really a tech person. And then I just use my Sony headphones to basically listen to the audio while I record it. And then I use CapCut to edit podcasts. I know it's an app that you kind of use to do TikTok trends. So have you seen those one where it's like turn yourself into a 60s character? That's kind of the thing that I use. So sometimes the preparation for podcast episodes, I kind of think about, okay, which are the ones that I want to do, which ones are the most important ones, or it's actually based off TikToks that I do actually myself. So one of the recent ones that's going to be coming out after before this is of course going to be the Kit Connor and Cast one. So I actually had to do a lot of research for that just to make sure that I knew exactly everything. And also was able to explain it nice and clear because it is important. And I actually just kind of research and stuff and kind of keep my eye on what's going on, especially in the Heartstopper community or anything, because that's the most important thing. Make sure you keep an eye on what's going on in the community you're focusing on. Luckily for me, most of my podcasts have been about my personal experiences, so it's more about memory and stuff. And I feel like, especially being in the moment, at the moment I'm not scripted, so I'm off script completely, which is probably why the episodes are so bloody long. But I don't care because I like being off scripted. It's fun. It doesn't mean I have to just sit here and sound like, hello, welcome to Tesco's. Who ordered it? It's not like that. It's a bit more interesting, which I kind of enjoy. So how I did my banner, because everyone's asking, okay, how did you do your banner? Your banner is so iconic. I was like, thank you. I know it is. Well, I think it's iconic. So my YouTube channel is actually called Archway Studios, and I started Archway Studios in 2020 when COVID hit because I wanted to do more YouTube videos during the pandemic and everything else. So that's kind of what I did. And I started Archway Studios, and it was a little studio at home. It was brilliant. I used to do painting videos. I used to do daily lives and stuff like this and cooking videos, which is basically the birth of what my TikTok kind of turned into and what my TikTok has become. And that's kind of where the Archway kind of stuff, and or just it's Archway, it's my way, it's my way or the highway, let's just say that. So the drawing actually behind is actually me and Bradley Riches, and this was a drawing that I used when Bradley asked me to do a drawing for him on live. And I thought, this is what inspired me to do podcasts. Going on these lives, having these amazing people come in and be able to speak to you guys, the viewers, as well. So if you do want to speak to me, not on episodes, but actually in real life, when we do lives, and do go and head over to the Real Arch TikTok account. It's always quite fun. I try and do as lives as many as possible. I did one yesterday and it was so much fun. And then you also see my other fellow friends on there. So there's like Louis, Holly H, who else? There's Aylin, Sean, there's loads of us. Megan Variety, of course, who I've mentioned before. So there's loads of us that's on there, and we all do like different content. But if you're more interested in my content, that's where it is. But I do like duets and stuff. So another thing that I basically do to draw the drawings is I use Procreate. And I've only started using Procreate for the last 2 or 3 years because I was normally very used to doing it with pencil and pen like the old days, but now as it's modern, I use my iPad. I basically have an iPad Pro. It's what I film the podcast on. It's also what I record with, that's attached. So how the setup is I sit on the island in my kitchen. I have the microphone right in front of me, which is right here. And then basically, and then there is a cable from my headphones into the microphone. And then there's another cable, which is already attached into the microphone that goes into the iPad using an adapter. And then in front of me, I have my podcast, how it's been recorded in front of me. So I exactly know how long it is. And if I do like questions and stuff, and if I have someone else, then at least I can speak close to close, and I still have control that I know everything's being recorded, which is always really helpful. So yeah, before, when I was doing podcasts like the first couple of episodes, I was just using the voiceover effect on CapCut, but now I didn't realise on CapCut you can attach a microphone and you can actually record properly, which is what I'm using right now, which is so good. The song that I use in the background, it was the first song that I found, which I thought would be really good. It's chill, it's just a beat, it kind of sets the tone. So yeah, I was gonna be like Mr. Professional and plan every single episode out and stuff like this, but as it's kind of like slow at the moment, and I'm kind of do have episodes and everything attached, that's kind of why I haven't done it. So yeah, I think that's kind of cool that we're able to do like those kind of stuff, and I try and do episodes in like a block. So today is Tuesday, so I'm doing a block of them. So I've done 3 episodes already, and I'm going to do 1 more, and then that's how many episodes I do. And then if, let's say, a friend comes over, so I know one of my friends, Raf, is coming over. I would ask them if they wanted to be doing a podcast episode. If they don't, then that's fine. I respect that. If they do, then of course we'll plan to do one. So that's the Megs one. So Megs came over, and I said to her, "Oh, do you want to do a podcast episode?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." And so I thought of a topic that we could both talk about, which I kind of enjoyed. I love doing episodes with my friends and stuff, and having a conversation with them. I think because of that episode, you can't really hear Megs. So lucky now, because we have this microphone, we can use it to basically hear everyone, which is really good. I also have a glass of water by me, because if you've been talking for ages, you sometimes do get very thirsty. So yeah, which is really cool. Now, basically, the rest of today, I've got the last episode to do. But I have decided by next week, I am going to aim to upload every single episode of season 1 of this podcast. So if you are subscribed to this channel where it is, there will be a playlist in my channel which says the Archway podcast and says season 1. All of there will be season 1 of the episodes. Now, this is where I'm trusting you guys. Basically, I want you to listen to the entire season, see what you think, tell me your thoughts and stuff. And then basically, also, one of the things that I really like, especially when I listen to podcasts, especially on YouTube or other times, when I'm going to try and get it on Spotify and Amazon Music, because I really want to, but it's a bit expensive at the time, so I'm just using YouTube instead. It's basically, I want to be able to have questions. You guys put questions down that I'm interested in, I'll do an episode about. So maybe in this one, as it's just a bit of a casual one, there's not really a main topic, just put your questions down there. It could be anything, but realistically something to do with like Heartstopper, or like a question that you could ask me that could be enjoyable, like something you would be interested in, because then that would be kind of fun to do, because then at least for season 2 I can know exactly what I'm going to be doing for that season, because I don't know how many seasons this is going to go on for. This might be like a regular thing where I just keep doing it and everything else. So yeah, which would be kind of cool if you think about it, because then you could just like sit here and I could interview my friends and stuff and everything else. I am definitely going to be doing one of the episodes that I'm going to do with Pride, but I will need some of my friends, so we'll see what happens. I think I'm saving that one for... if I want to do it with my friends, I'm going to have to save it until basically the end of March, because I know all my friends are coming over in March because it's my birthday month and we're doing a Scooby-Doo party, which is going to be so much fun. So yeah, and I get to dress up as a friend, just saying. Yeah. So yeah, we'll be doing something like that, and also I've got some friends that are coming over and everything else, so there will be episodes. I promise I'm not going to run out of juice and suddenly one day you're going to find like 4 episodes and then that's pretty much it, and then I move on to the next thing. No, this is a full-time thing now. We are in the podcast world. But yeah, I actually never used to listen to podcasts. I just thought, okay, I'm going to do a podcast. I mean, I think I've probably got... Oh my god, sirens. I hate sirens. The worst thing about living in London is sirens. I hate it. It's so annoying. That's the problem. So yeah, I don't really listen to podcasts and stuff like this. I was just like, okay, what is a podcast about? What would I want my podcast to be? And I think it's probably just going to be like, okay, do what you want to do. So yeah, which is interesting because I kind of wanted to do one just to have a bit of fun, have a bit of a I feel like, especially when I listened to podcasts, like I listened to a couple before, and my friend Holly, when I was in Switzerland, she put one on and I was like, oh, this is a good taster of what not to do and what to do for a podcast. So I kind of thought that, and I was like, okay, I want it to feel like a one-to-one conversation, like I am having a true conversation with you, but I cannot hear your input. You can only hear my input, which I think is brilliant. I'm joking. I'm not that mean. But yes, so just being able to do that. I don't know why, but I'm staring at a sugar-free vanilla syrup right in front of me, and it's really putting me off. I keep thinking like, oh, I should make a coffee. But yeah, I mean, sometimes they just turn out like this. They're just random. So yeah, I just think it's kind of interesting. So another thing that comes along with like the podcast setup and everything else is of course the lives, which is what I use as a basis. So as I said before, I do lives, try and do lives regularly. Sometimes it does get a bit overwhelming, so if you don't see one, that's probably why. So I kind of do these lives on TikTok, which is probably about 2 or 3 hours. The longest one I've done is 7 hours. Think of something you could do in 7 hours. That's what I've done. And so one of the things that are popular on the lives is basically cooking with Archie, which I've now turned into a segment on TikTok as well, but I call it Chef Archie. It's like French. So yeah, I did the first one literally this week, and it was fried chicken. Gee, that sounds lovely, doesn't it? Oh, let's go and see what Chef Archie's doing. Oh great, he's doing fried chicken. So I did that this week, which I really did enjoy. It's a lot of filming. Like, I was making sure that I knew exactly what to do. The chicken was lovely. The mashed potato is another question. So yeah, and I've also got these like brownie mix I really want to do. They're like spooky brownies. I'm like, ooh, do they come in the middle of the night and scare you or something? I don't know. But yeah, it'll be great to do stuff with other people, and like especially cooking for other people. I really do enjoy, as I've said before in my other podcast about living by myself. I did do a why do I keep every single time I do a podcast I keep talking about cooking? What is it? I did a Christmas dinner, which was fun and stressful, and I didn't hate myself for 4 days. But yeah, so sometimes I didn't even know where to end these. So yeah, I think that's kind of what kind of started it, and then people saying like, oh my god, you should do a podcast. It's like, okay, fine, I will do one if you need me to. So I just decided to do, I think the first episode, which is called A Little Bit About Me. Oh my god, I was so nervous. I was literally standing up with my iPad flat on the table, talking to it, and I was like, I feel stupid. I feel really stupid. Why can I do this? I feel like I'm having a conversation with technology. Imagine what technology sounds like. Try and have a conversation with it. That's literally what doing a podcast feels like when someone's not here. So yeah, and I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my god, I can't do this. I cannot do this. So I did it, and it's really short. That's why it's really short, because I was like, okay, I can't do this. No, I can't think. Pause. So yeah, and I also love the mishaps that happen when I forget stuff or something like that. But I mean, there's only been 6 episodes. It's crazy, because I don't know how many episodes are actually going to be in season 1. I think it's going to be about like 15, 16, because I want to do some special ones with people. So like Pride, events, masters in film, I suppose I should talk about that because I'm doing it right now. Also just like especially doing a film from start to finish, I wouldn't be able to be like, hello, this is day 1 of starting a film, so today we're going to be working on, I wouldn't be able to do that. It would be more like a sum up. And also going to like premieres and stuff, because that is so much fun. You get free popcorn, which is so much fun. So I don't know why I'm whispering, because there's literally no one else here. But yeah, there's loads of stuff that could be coming up, and I think season 1 will be so much fun to kind of sit back and listen to. I hope you do sit back and listen to it, and just I can see someone doing housework, having this on the background, and just be like, oh, okay, this is an interesting thing to listen to. Let's listen to a 22-year-old talking about living on his own when he's just moved into a new place. How is a 22-year-old gonna know? I don't know. I just worked it out. I didn't know what to do. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna call this random, because I feel like it will be a good thing. Another question I get quite a lot is I didn't answer in the season 1, I feel like this is a halfway episode, is who are my favourite characters in the show and why? Because I get this question every single live I do on TikTok. So my favourite Heartstopper characters is Nicholas Nelson, Victoria Spring and Elle Argent. Now you're probably thinking, okay, what about Charlie Spring? What about everyone else? Okay, I've chosen them because I see myself a lot in them. So I'm going to explain how I fit into them. You're probably thinking, okay, how does he fit into a golden retriever and Tori? I don't know, I just do. So basically, I see myself a lot in Kit because, of course, I'm bisexual myself. I'm very happy to say so. And I used to play rugby. I know people say I look like him, even though I don't. And I just see myself a lot in him, and it was so nice to see a representation of like me in a show. Tori Spring. Tori is my mind at the back. Tori Spring's mind is so fascinating to me. I love her in the show. I could speak about her for a whole episode because of how brilliant Jenny Walser plays her. And it's crazy that I'm going to be sitting somewhere in a hall listening to Alice and Tori herself talk about Tori's book, which of course is Solitaire, which is out now. The hardback edition is. It's a bit of a plug. And basically, she's brilliant. Now, Elle is because of my creativity. So as we know in the show, she goes to art school and stuff like this, and she's going to go to art school, which is brilliant. I was actually planning that route. I was thinking, okay, I'm going to go to art school, I'm going to do all the arty stuff, and then I'm going to become an artist or do something like that, until I met Film. Until Film knocked on my door one day and said, hello, do you want to join me? I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Sorry, Art, I'm going to leave you behind. I mean, you could probably tell because I do quite a lot of my drawings on stuff and everything else, and I try and do a drawing almost every single day. I mean, I did one today. So that's why I see Elle in myself. And also I'm very scared to tell someone about my feelings, because we can tell from Elle from season 1 and especially from season 2 that she does get quite scared talking about her feelings, especially when she's like, oh, I like Tao. No, I really like Tao. And then Tao's just more like, she's like me the whole entire time, you've been laughing behind my back. So I think the problem is everyone expects you to have one favourite. I can see myself in every single character. I wouldn't say every single one, but like there are 4, maybe 5 of them that I see myself into. So another question I get asked the most is, when is season 3 coming out? I don't know. It hasn't been announced. People are saying it's March 2024. It is not. They haven't said anything. I said this in my predictions for season 3. They haven't said anything, so don't believe anything. And another thing I always get questioned about that I actually had a live about, which was so much fun, which is about AI and people using Alice's voice in AI to basically say, hello, my name is Alice Oseman, the writer and creator of Heartstopper, and I'm proudly to announce that season 4 is going to happen. It doesn't even sound like her. And the thing is if you're going to do that and you want to try and get past me, spell Oseman correctly. Because I've seen so many iterations of how to spell Oseman. It's so funny. And also, if Alice did do like a announcement like she did for season 2 or season 3, if she does ever do one, she did an announcement for season 3 by showing us a script and it just said love. That's all you need. You don't need to do like a whole thing, like a drawing or something. She sometimes does do a drawing. She did a drawing for the next 3 episodes or 2 episodes. On the drawing, it says 2 episodes, but then people think we're going to be getting season 4, and I actually don't think we're probably going to get season 4, but that's another episode. As you can see, I've got so many ideas for episodes. But yes, if you did enjoy this, press plus button and press the subscribe button. Comment down below if any of your questions, and I'll see you next one. Bye!